And then I'm gonna. And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
We've got Shysters, we've got Shooters, and we've got Shims, and just a little while ago, Lynch got his bikini wax, which he still hasn't paid me for, because I haven't cleared his wax yet.
That's sexy.
Yeah, and it's honey, so you know it's good.
Oh, so you know it's good.
That's right. But
it made my taint tickle a little bit.
Listen to you. This is the part of the show where I say, guys, buckle up. We're offending somebody tonight, and it just possibly could be you. Welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
That's right. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. My name is Chris Burns. As always, my partner in crime, the Dylan to my Mulvaney. It is the one and only
Chris Lynch.
And of course, the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, the man who put the light in Bud Light.
Ooh.
Are you gonna die?
No.
Please don't die. Wow, that's a record. 61 seconds.
Yeah, that's like a Mike Tyson fight.
Corey's gonna be all over that shit like white on rice. It's producer extraordinaire.
What is up, everybody out there listening to us fucktards talk?
Oh, speaking of fucktards, do we want to go back? Let's go back to the shooting.
Where do we want to fucktards? Where do we want to start?
Let's start with the shooting. As we found out this week through various news outlets and the law enforcement, is that not only does fucktard show up on our closed captioning, but this particular shooter.
That's lovely. That is fucking beautiful.
Had been planning this for quite some time.
Months. Studied other fucking shootings, figured it, tried and determined where the mistakes were made with other fucking shootings. Yes.
Well, and and that kind of makes a lot of sense as to why she chose that target.
That motherfucker is loud. Hold on, I got you. Keep talking. Go.
Other than the fact it was her alma mater, glass door, shoot right through, walk right in. I mean, how much more easy could you make it off? How softer could you make it?
Well, that's part of the argument that I had the other day, and we'll bring up some of the stuff we talk about in our pre-production group chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, these shooters don't pick targets that are, guarded, whether they're armed or not. They don't pick on schools that have lockdown procedure. They pick the softest target. And in this situation, this person, it's a girl. Let's just get it out of the way. A chick shot up a Christian school.
Well, here's the thing: is I don't know as if she chose a soft target. Well, I think in this particular case. And I think with every particular case, you have to remember that most of their school shootings are people from the school.
Right. Who have gone to that school.
Okay.
No layout,
so it's not really a soft target. It's just a known entity. It's not like there's groups of kids from Detroit that are like, oh, you know what? We're going to go to, and I'm going to use Sandy Hook as an example. All right. It's not, somebody from Detroit deciding to let's go fucking blow up a school. It's somebody that usually is pissed off at the school or the whole establishment. So, I mean, you know what I mean? So, just so that we don't go crazy sideways with this, nobody is deciding to like, I'm going to Pueblo and blowing the school up, unless you're from Pueblo or have some connection.
Exactly.
So those, unfortunately, I think those targets are naturally soft by the way that they have to be approached. I don't think you can have armed guards patrolling outside and the halls, put prison style fencing and gates on a place, and have it feel open to being a relaxed learning environment. As they've discovered in prisons, when you have armed guards in a class standing there in riot gear, prisoners have a hard time learning and actually becoming them.
You're a prisoner.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about prisoners, sir. I'm not talking about rights. I'm talking about what they figured out about how the learning process works.
It's a total distraction to them.
Absolutely. Are you trying to tell me that a 7-year-old kid is going to be more interested in whatever fucking English lesson he's getting instead of the fucking dude walking around the house with those awesome guns and tack gear?
I don't know. You asked me that question, and this is where we're going to go back to the chat. It's like, put yourself in the mind of a 7-year-old. Well, I'm not Joe Biden, so I can't do that. So I have to go with what I know now. And the first time, and again, I grew up in a cop environment, so I'm a little different on this one. The first time most kids see a cop and they got a gun on their belt, whether they're at a McDonald's or a Walmart or whatever, and the kid asks a question, why does that guy have a gun? He's technically paid to protect us. And it goes away. Boom. It's out the door. How do you explain the armed guard at the front of the school? Same way. I'm not saying you put one in every classroom. That's stupid. That's also a tremendous waste of taxpayer money. As if a lot of things aren't a tremendous waste of taxpayer money. But
tell you about it.
When to explain it to a kid as you know, and kids aren't stupid. They've seen the news. They've heard the news. They've probably spoken about it in class in one way or another. I'm gonna let a lot of things I usually say go because I don't want to disparage, what kids are going through right now. But you explain it to them in a way they understand, and they'll get it. Much like all of us when we were kids, why are we all crying? Well, grandma died. Well, what does that mean? And you walk them through the painful process to get them to where they are now comfortable knowing, the situation in front of them.
Understood. I can see that, but I can also see where it might also make, depending on your it make your kids nervous as hell.
Sure, I can understand that.
You know what I mean? And
there's ways around that.
Yeah, and I don't know as if placing armed guards in every school is the answer. I mean, technically, if you build the walls high enough, you don't need guards because the only reason the guards are at a prison is for the prisoners. It's the walls that keep them in.
Correct.
Right.
So if that's the case, then we just build 30-foot walls around the schools. I'm probably cheaper than for the price of a year's salary. You build a disgustingly high barbed wire 30-foot fence.
Oh, so that's not going to make the kids feel bad, but the armed guard will?
Well, I'm just saying you come onto it's a secure property. I'm just saying you're not trapped in there, but you've got a checkpoint. Yeah. One checkpoint in and out of the whole grounds makes. I'm not, dude. I mean, am I wrong? I didn't say there's people standing there with machine guns, but you've got one point of entry and egress. That's it.
In my head, I have this sentence rolling through. We're not going to Juliet W. Long. We're going to Alcatraz.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, if you break it down, the guards are there to hold up the prisoners. So we don't need guards. You just need walls to keep people out.
We're not shooting 7-year-olds. We're shooting the potential. If there's a potential danger.
But if there's 30-foot walls and one point of entry and egress, you have limited your problem because every fucking shooter on the planet just strolls in from wherever the fuck it is. There isn't a closed school ground anywhere on the planet. Pick a school. I'll just walk the fuck in. I'll walk the fuck to the front door. There's nothing that stops it. All of us have kids. Nothing stops us from getting to the front door or any door.
The worst thing is you get buzzed in. I have a lot of schools that I visit as a client, and you get buzzed in.
And getting into the school, that's a completely different story. But there is nothing at any fucking school that stops you from just walking the fuck in.
At one point or another, you're right, because I remember there was the one door at our high school that was never locked. Even on off times, we'd go play football in the back.
In the middle, on
on
school
Sundays.
vacations, we knew it was still open.
I gotta go pee, and we'd stroll right through that.
Yes. Yes, and there was nothing stopping us from getting onto pretty much anywhere school grounds.
Help me! It was the door that separated the gym from the VOAG.
Yeah. That door around in the back, you could always get in that motherfucker.
And John, I get what John is right now becoming the MVP of the comment section. Thank you again, John. We'll read some of those comments in just a minute. But even then, at Ledyard, you had
We know that the cops are there already, John. That wasn't the argument.
You couldn't get past the lobby because
There are places
the doors
that have them,
doors
yes.
closed.
We're talking about every school mandatorily all over the place, like as a policy.
I just think, and if you think about, we gave $100 billion to Ukraine. I get it. We've talked about it. If you take a tenth of that money, which is $10 billion, you hire 2 guards for every one of the 133,000 schools in America. You give them a base salary of about, you don't have to be the smartest guy on the planet. So I'll say $55,000 to $60,000. And you are an armed guard. You go through the training. You're completely vetted. I'm not talking about taking cops off the street. I'm talking about you give this place, and it's a face that. And John said it in one of his comments. We're going to talk about that in just a minute because his comment makes sense. They see you as a friendly face. You walk through the door. You get off the bus. Hi, Officer O'Malley. Hello, children. And
hello, children.
It's a friendly face. You know, it's kind of like the librarian, except for. I'm trying to remember which school it was. But Mrs. Mitchell was the worst librarian. She looked like the Wicked Witch of the West, and she scared every child that walked into her library. I want to say it was Kelly Junior High School.
The one that looked like the troll from the Dark Crystal?
No, that was at Ledyard. I can't remember her name either.
Oof.
Yeah, you remember her.
Gelfling? What? Fuck off. Back the fuck up, bitch. It's just a book.
And I believe one of my friends got in trouble for telling her to go back under the bridge you came from.
Ooh. That sounds like something Andy would have said back then.
Probably was, Andy.
I'm just saying.
Is Officer O'Malley also chef? No, I was thinking Officer Barbrady, and I got the chef voice. I'm going to start with John's first comment. My kids have an officer. My kids have an officer in their school at all times. They all say it's Officer X. They approve of it because it is presented softly. They've been doing it since Sandy Hook. There are cops in schools already, yes, but not all of them, which is why some of these schools are soft targets. If I know, and if I'm a crazy person, which depending on who you ask, I am. If I know that, say, and I'm just going to throw out a name, I am not.
That's an opinion. There's actually no medical fact basing that.
Well, there was that one time I did the Thorazine shuffle.
Yeah, but that was a medical reason. You have to legally be pronounced that way
right.
by the courts.
I am making up a school right now.
Otherwise, you can still get a gun. I know, because
right.
I said that when I was doing it.
I'm going to make up so I don't throw anybody red flags, and this show gets flagged on YouTube. And
the Derek Zoolander school for kids.
Yeah, the Derek Zoolander.
I would like it to get red flagged on YouTube. I would like it to get fucking blown up because we offend somebody so fucking much somewhere that we get some motherfucking traction.
We'll get there.
God damn it, we're the best goddamn award-winning podcast that hasn't won a fucking award. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
if I were to go to the Derek Zoolander school for kids who don't read so good.
Dude, it's going to have to be like 5 times bigger.
And I realize, all those kids aren't going to fit in that little building.
This is a school for ants.
If I know that there's not a guard of some sort or an armed protector of some sort, I now have a soft target, and I could go in. Okay, say the guy that worked at Wendy's that we talked about a year or two ago who sued Wendy's because he went to rob the Wendy's he worked at, fell through the skylight, and busted both his legs, and successfully sued Wendy's.
Yeah, successfully.
Are you going to rob the Wendy's you work at because you know where everything is? Are you going to rob that Wendy's, or are you going to go across town and rob them? Hello, Jordan. Hello, Zach. Hello, Carrie Lee.
Hey, what's up, Carrie? First time. First time
she's telling us about it anyway.
That's right. First time she's admitted it.
Right. The first thing is admitting it that tells us you're sick, and we are sick. And We're in this together. But this person knew the layout, knew the plan, and knew what they had to do and how to do it. And granted, this wasn't the biggest school shooting we've seen, but they certainly knew what they were doing, and they're ignoring a lot of this until recently about the fact that they planned this for months, about the fact that it's a transgender person, because we've been told forever transgender people aren't violent, and I'm not saying that's the reason they did it. I'm not. What I'm saying is there was obviously a bunch of stuff that this person had going on in their head. I am the greatest viewer ever. Jordan, you are.
What up, ho?
What up, Jen? Woo! Jen is our hoe, and we love her for it. What up, LaPro?
Hey now.
Still my favorite.
Yeah, but but we have to remember though that there seems to be only outrage with school shootings. If I walk in and blow away 13 people in an office, it gets a little traction and then it's gone and nobody really fucking cares. The crazy outrage is when it happens to kids. But here's my point is that all of these,
and I'll bring my point up after, but please continue.
All of these mass shootings happen with somebody who has a grudge, okay? So unless you work for the U.S. Army, everywhere you work is a soft target. Let's be honest. Think about it. Unless you work for the president and the White House, every fucking destination on the planet is a soft target. So I think using the word soft target just at schools, I think is a little misleading. Every fucking place on the planet except for a military base is a soft target or a police station. Okay? There's a reason nobody walks in and tries to blow those up because like they instantaneously die.
Look at the place we all used to work, Mohegan Sun. Yes, you have security. Yes, there are cops intermingling.
Soft target. Soft target. Nobody's fucking armed. FBI is four floors down underneath in the basement. All right? And they're monitoring shit. They're not there in like force with SWAT. That's a soft target. I could walk in there and smoke 500 fucking people with me and 2 or 3 other people in long coats and nobody could fucking do shit until everybody was fucking dead. You know that. You know what? We all know that. That everything is a soft target.
I can attest to that. I can attest there. Find out about you after the shit's already going down, and we're getting oh my god, there's a guy in front of me in cage with a long gun.
Right, 34 people have already died by the time that call goes out.
I'm gonna give John's comment. It's a bit long. I don't know if we can fit it on the screen. One out of all of you who legally owns a gun and you can use it, I get it. Transgender has no meaning here. The shooter was transgender. We can go on that all day. You can bitch about this all day until you're faced with it. Have a friend that works at Sandy Hook. Mike and I went to high school with her. Talked to her extensively about this. Give able-bodied teachers and vets the right to... Oh, he's singing our song. We said this years ago. Give able-bodied teachers and vets the right to be there and have a weapon to protect your class. Amen. That... Of the 4 points you brought up, I'm going to go 1, I agree with. 2, kind of off-center. 3, we can all bitch about it. It happens in our country. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And Jen is a teacher, and she says, I will carry all day.
Yeah, I mean, out of the questions, I do. I just bought new toys and have new toys on order.
I do.
And I have plenty of cars to drive around and lots of fuel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you live in the greater Pueblo area, don't let Mike into your school. He's not going to do that. He's not crazy.
No, but
he'll shoot up at Popeyes, but he ain't shooting up at school.
No, Popeyes makes a good chicken sandwich. They ain't done that. You come on my driveway and start going through my car. I'm squeezing rounds off, and we don't fuck around with handguns out in the driveway. We use pack shotguns.
You guys got the castle law out there?
Oh, yes, sir. Castle Doctrine is in effect. On the property, I can smoke you.
Yes. God bless Colorado.
I can tell you that you need to leave, and then if you don't, I can smoke you because you were in my shit. Yep. My car is considered the same as my house. I can carry concealed any weapon I want to that I've legally purchased. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Wonderful state, Colorado.
You've been warned. Get off my shit.
Oh, the security system says that right off the rip. If you stay more than 5 seconds in the driveway.
All right, so going on Chris and Mike, you saw the little Twitter.
You're clipping it out, bro.
How about now, Mike?
A little bit still. You're still clipping.
Fuck.
It's me. I blame me. It happens every time I come here. And we're
to Jen's comment, here it is.
Pull till the magazine is empty.
Yeah, don't have to.
They taught us well.
Triple up doesn't. I don't have to squeeze 6 rounds of triple up buckshot into you to make you stop. That
one shot, one kill.
Gun's loaded this way. It's loaded with 5 rounds. It's loaded with 5 rounds of buckshot, and my first shell is a 2 5/8 rubber ball shell. You get 1 shot not to die. If you don't run away after that, I'm loading the other. I'm putting one of the real ones out.
Beautiful.
That's my being a nice human being and being responsible. You get 1 rubber ball shell. After that, if you don't leave, it's on you. I'll say a prayer for you, but I'm still going to shoot your ass.
Well, I'm gonna pray you get off my fucking driveway. When Derek shows up with the meat wagon, then I say the prayer.
You know, and if you're in the house, I'm just unloading because what are you talking about, bro? The cops don't even know you're here.
Michael have a John Wayne Gacy thing going on underneath the house for anybody that breaks into his shit.
I got a crawl space, man. Come in the backyard, bro. Let's talk.
Right. I just want to take your picture.
Here's $50. I want to take your picture.
There, Lynch? Lynch is frozen.
He's froze a little. Oh, yeah. I can see him moving. Can we hear him?
I don't know.
1 2 1 2.
Oh, this motherfucker thinks he's a rapper.
All right. You were going to say something about mine and Mike's points, please.
All right.
Yeah, we got you.
Remember I got into earlier this week about how I'm promoting false equivalency. All right,
I'm listening.
Some knucklehead on Twitter who I happen to know. But I can speak on good authority that testosterone supplements do not make one more prone to violence, and medications for illness don't cause mental illness. It's the goddamn fucking guns. Okay, so that is virtue signaling at its best. Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, this is what I followed up with. I've carried my gun every day for years and years. It's never harmed anyone. I'd say that speaks from experience. And he said, and there's a false equivalency. No, not false equivalency. Violent people are going to be violent, be it by gun, by knife, by lead pipe, or a fucking pencil. Guns kill people with the person behind the trigger that exert force and intent to cause harm.
They're just efficient, is all it is. It's then, extremely efficient.
Right
now,
and he goes into another false equivalency, saying, "Is there a ration?" And because I said, are we going to ban cars because people drive drunk and kill people? Statistically, it happens at least several times.
Way more than children or people get shot.
Right, that happens every day.
Let's be honest, way more.
That's an everyday occurrence, not just when it hits every fucking day. Just because you don't hear about it, you don't know about it.
Yeah, what is it? Like, I don't know. It's like something stupid. It's like every 37 seconds there's someone dies in an automotive accident.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I don't know what it is. If somebody knows in the comment section, look that shit up and post it.
I'm going to look now, but I want to draw a line in the sand. What kind of auto accidents? Do you want to talk drunk driving, texting and driving? Pick one, and I'm going to get the stats.
I'm saying drunk driving.
I don't think it matters. Any car accident of any kind. Drunk driving can be yours or someone else's. Texting and driving can be yours or someone else's fault. Every other reason for an accident can be yours or someone else's fault. So I know I'm sounding like a broken record here, but so I don't think it matters. I think it literally comes down to an accident is an accident.
I use drunk driving as the example because you drank and you willingly got behind the seat of a car, the wheel of a car, and drove. Intent. You're not intending to harm anybody, but by your actions, harm. If you have an accident.
Rib roast on sale at
Right?
ShopRite.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He got one today at $5.99 a pound. Ooh, John, I'm coming to dinner.
Damn, they're fucking killing you motherfuckers on meat, huh?
Okay.
Shit.
Ooh, okay. We're gonna go with this one. I'm still working. Keep talking.
I get cases of brisket for $2.72 a pound. Swear to God.
Nice. Are you guys hearing me?
I am hearing you. You are dropping in and out a little bit, so it could be that, but yeah. I don't know what's up. I don't know how the fuck you are slow and what's up and he's not. It's got to be the computer, maybe?
I don't know. I'm gonna shoot it when we're done.
All right. Videotape that and we could.
All right, here we go. Now we got the stats right here, and I'm going off of year 2018 because that was the last good amount of stats I got.
John, would you cut those? Would you cut those at 12-ounce? In steaks, 12-ounce steaks.
Can I finish my point?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Nick, the nigga was talking about me. I got sidetracked.
The number of drunk driving fatalities in the United States in 2018 was 136,835. The amount of people that died by shooting, be they kids or gang members or whomever. This is terrible because when you say this, people are going to go, oh, well, like your friend Lynch, well, that's a false equivalency. 39,500.
That's in 2018, and there were a couple mass shootings.
I'm sure the numbers, ebb and flow, and I'll get more.
39,000.
Yes,
they're not.
That's intent.
You're not going to hit the millions. I'm sorry, you're never going to hit the millions in the United States of America because that would mean you would have to have a mass shooting every 30 seconds.
Pretty much, kind of like drunk driving accidents.
Okay,
now
so that's not
the total
that's
amount
why I got
of.
so pissed off about the false equivalency. It's not.
Well, it's. Let's be honest. There's a lot of single shootings, but a lot, but also with shootings, you have the airplane effect.
Well, and my whole point behind the drunk driving thing was
there's 2 a year, but it's 300 people at a time.
It's the device in which is used. Cars kill more people than fucking guns, you dickhead. Get that through your thick fucking
false equivalency, right?
Fuck you.
And those cars aren't driving themselves. Once again, just like guns, there's people controlling them.
So like when the guy drove through the parade at Christmas time in Kenosha, and they said the car killed. No, the jackass
behind the wheel killed a bunch of people. The guy that was holding the gun that pulled the trigger is who killed the people.
If anybody wants the motherfucker,
I've had a gun sitting there next to the front fucking door for a week, boys, and you know what it's done?
collect dust.
Nothing.
The amount of people that died last year, 2022, in automobile accidents of any kind, 1.3 million people. That is 10 times the amount of people that are killed by some sicko wielding a gun. And let's be honest,
and most of those people are not crazy hell bent on killing people.
No,
there's a really tiny fraction, okay? All right? So, and now people that are killed with a gun, that encompasses everybody. Not only the mass shooting, which technically is 3 or more people.
Can you put up Crystal's comment? That is the most hilarious thing I'm going to see all day. I had to Google machine false equivalency. What the fuck?
Yeah, it means when they don't like what you tell them, and so it's a statement used to devalue what you're saying. What you are saying.
I'll use Crystal as an example because Crystal's a very good friend of mine, and
Bob.
There have been times way back in 1862 where I got a little bit hopped up on the firewater, and I was just being a complete and utter asshole. And she would tell me, "You're a complete and utter asshole when you drink." Like, not when I drink, just when I drink certain alcohols. Now, if that is correct, I can drink beer all day and be pretty fucking awesome. But if I start mixing, and Herm will tell you the opposite. If I just drink whiskey all day, I'm awesome. If I start mixing, I become mega cunt.
That's a
You
big
can't.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's a possibility.
but just saying that one broad statement, if I were to come back and say, well, that's a false equivalency, that's just my way of saying I don't like what you're saying. I have no argument against it. I'm going to be a crybaby douchebag. Boom.
Well, yeah, it's a like I said, it's a statement used by somebody who doesn't like your point of view, even though it makes sense, and they say it to devalue what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mentioned, well, please tell me what is your solution to this problem? Fucking crickets. Nobody wants to stand up and
look.
I'm against it, but I have no
look,
ideas about how to solve it. I
can I
at least put pen
go ahead.
and come up with something.
Right.
Can I say a probably a really fucking unpopular opinion?
What else is new?
I'm just gonna say, okay, so with the Second Amendment, using the Second Amendment guaranteeing the ability for people to have guns. Okay, the 14th Amendment basically allowing us to use them in defense. Okay, you've got the Second Amendment. In order to have the Second Amendment, okay, with certain rights come certain allowances that you have to understand is just how it's going to be if that right is given to the people. Okay, the right is the people have the right to have and use guns against tyranny and self-defense. Okay, in order for that right to work, there is an allowable amount. You're going to have people that die. Okay,
It's an unfortunate reality.
it's an unfortunate reality, and that how many people died every year? 39,000.
39.
39,000.
39,500 is the estimate from 2018 in
All right.
gun violence.
Out of how many billions of people in the United States?
There are 338 million people that live in this country.
Okay, so
Like
that
less than 1%.
okay.
Kind of like the amount of people.
That's kind of where I'm going. That's kind of where I'm going. Unfortunately, and you guys can call me a monster. I really hope you fucking do. I hope somebody out there calls me a fucking monster and this actually goes somewhere. But in order for that right to exist for that many millions of people, a teeny tiny percentage have to die. It's called the rational sacrifice for rights.
Natural.
Okay. Okay, it's not always natural selection. I mean, there is some crime and it's not like, the idiot didn't know how to swim, but he went swimming. That's natural selection.
Well, look at it this way. If you go back to the late...
In order for that right to happen, you have to have accidents and people have to die. But the percentage is so much less than the right that they give us to purchase and buy alcohol.
I read you the stat. Oh, don't get me started. We'll talk about that in the next subject because I'm flipping the script just a little bit because I really want to.
There is no script tonight, really. It's just
You go back in to the late '80s and early '90s where there were at least in LA and New York over 80,000 gang members, and there were like 600 deaths a month just from gun violence.
Yes.
And now look at today, where nationwide, it's less than 40,000 people dying from gun violence. We're doing something right because the right people are now armed and they don't give a fuck. If you value my stuff more than your life, come and get it. Please. Come and get it.
That's just simple math, man. I mean,
I won't even shoot you in the face. I'll let your mama give you a proper burial.
Yeah. All right. Good fellas.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just simple math at that point. I mean, it's like the USDA allowable allowance of rat feces in your fucking food.
Bingo.
I mean, do people really think that the produce they eat is 100% clean?
No, but they're still going to go to Trader Joe's and spend ridiculous amounts of money for.
What do you mean by clean?
like there's no bugs. There's no natural life on that piece of fruit. That's
Oh
strawberry.
no, there's bacteria and micro insects and whatnot, but we don't really see that. But for the most part, it's sanitary enough to eat. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, we've been digesting all of that shit, like the shit that was on the strawberry. We've been eating that shit for 400 years.
Not if you listen to the woke folk.
Our body doesn't care.
No, our body's.
It's like the worms that y'all have been eating in the codfish when you go buy your fish and chips. There's fucking worms in there this fucking long. I know, because we like to, in the restaurant business, pull them out of there and throw them little faggot-ass bitches in a fucking fryer and watch them sizzle and crispy. And I said it. Little bastards. But you know what? When they come in my fish, I eat it.
All right,
it's in there.
John,
Do you know...
I'm going to need John to expand on his comment.
There are 9 allowable insect parts allowed in the average jar of peanut butter. Just so everybody is clear, the USDA says 9. There's 9 bug parts: wings, legs, eyes, all of those. There's 9 of them in the small normal jar of peanut butter.
I want you to
enjoy that jelly sandwich.
Is that the right people are armed? Really? Not sure. I fear for what will come. I'll tell you what. I shared something on Facebook the other day before we go into our next topic.
Are we the people who are any of us qualified to judge whether somebody is capable of owning a firearm? I know people that would say that me owning a firearm is probably a real fucking problem, but the people that matter to me don't think so. So that's all that matters.
Well, the latest
and everybody has a different case.
But that latest shooting by the trans person proved my point, and a point I've continued making for years.
But she was also Tennessee.
Hold on.
You can lie until you're shrink. You're fine. I'm fine. I'm not crazy. Everybody else is crazy. I'm fine. And you can lie to the Mr. Gunman who's selling you that gun. Oh, I'm perfectly sane. You can lie and get whatever the fuck you want. You can lie and get a gun. You can lie and get drugs. You can lie to get sex. You can lie for your next meal. People lie and people get away with shit. That's a fact of life, brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Get fucking used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Preach on, Brother Lynch.
And for them to say that mental health's the primary thing. No, it's not the primary thing. Mental health does go hand in hand with this type of violence and other issues that we're going to be talking to about tonight. You can't use just mental health as the blueprint of whether somebody should own a gun or not. You can't.
No, you can't. I don't believe so either.
If that's the case, because honestly, crazy is a subjective. It's a subjective thing.
Right, and that's what
I may find Mike crazy, but my wife may think Mike's awesome.
I've known Mike for more than 30 freaking years, and I can verify that he is crazy.
Right, but none of your opinions matter. The only one that matters is a court or a doctor that's pronounced me legally insane. So otherwise, I can go get a gun. And and to clarify, Crystal, no, she wasn't Tennessee. She was from Tennessee. And my point was, my point was that the gun laws that she was legally working with were Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And basically, if you have a pulse in Tennessee, you can get a gun. Tennessee actually allows some forms of automatic weapon. It's at the state level, so it's not the guns. I truly believe we need a nationwide background system, one that incorporates medical records, one that incorporates psychological eval records of any kind, and arrest record, and it does. It asks, like here in Colorado, they want to know about felonies. They want to know if I have anything going on with anybody and my wife. That's my current spouse. They ask a whole bunch of questions, and they do an FBI background check here in this state.
You go.
Oh no! Chris, to answer Crystal, no, I know you didn't mean anything. No offense, she was from Tennessee. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that I wasn't looking down on her because she was from Tennessee. I just know that the gun laws there are loose. You know what I mean? They like their guns down there, and they're a little more easygoing in regards to that aspect. So it's much easier to get whatever you want right off the shelf.
We can name this tune and end this song in 3 notes, and it goes like this: Is your weapon currently loaded right now, Mike?
Yeah,
Where is it sitting?
up by the front door.
Has it shot
up
anybody
there.
yet? Has that
No.
gun independently got up and shot someone?
No, I haven't shot anyone. No.
Watch this. I'm gonna put this right next to me for the duration. Here.
It's not loaded. But
It is now. I'm gonna put the. All right, you change. Change. Okay. This is gonna sit right next to me for the duration of this broadcast, and I guarantee you, it is not gonna independently get up or shoot Lynch or myself.
No, there's no intent.
No force, no intent.
There's no intent, and the problem is Heard, I got to go to the Packy. Oh, speaking of that, thank you for reminding me. Hold on.
Okay, so I got to carry this with my fucking Lipton iced tea because I work in a dry area, and I appreciate the dry area, so you know. When he comes out, I'll ask him what his record is.
Thank you.
Crystal, while you're down there, you grab some Miller Lite. I'll stop by this week. My girl, my girl. You're right, John. Bad people will get them no matter what. That's why there's a black market. That's why the war on drugs doesn't fucking work.
What is up, Mr. Bother?
And that's what I was going to say to end this portion of the whole thing is, we'll crack them. Derek will stack them. And that's where I'm going to leave that. Has that gun killed anybody yet?
No, I'm handling it again.
Yep, there it is.
There's probably some internet law we're breaking right now, but I really don't give a fuck.
What, showing a weapon?
No, not really. There's no internet law. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's
He's right.
It's not even a weapon, right? It's not even a weapon. Right now, it's just a firearm.
Right now, it's a paperweight because it's sitting on top of my notes.
Weapon implies its intent and how it's about to be used.
Well, that's like these people that say silence is violence or words are violence. No, motherfucker, a brick to the mouth is violence.
Well, I have a tacked shotgun up in the living room, but if I'm using it to hunt, it's not a weapon unless I put it on a person. Yeah. When I use it to hunt, it's still just a firearm. It's a hunting rifle.
So I'm flipping 2 of the subjects real quick because I'm sure somewhere.
Oh, he's pulling a Herm.
He's breaking the rules.
He's pulling a Herm.
Somewhere in Florida, there's a 47-year-old man about to turn 48 in a week and a half who's mighty upset about the cans he's picking up from his local 7-Eleven or Gas and Gulp or whatever. Can you make that picture bigger, and I'll explain why Bud Light
hold on.
$1 billion.
Let me see if I can do. Hold on.
Hold your junk.
Hold my junk? Can I shoot my junk?
Hold the groin.
All right.
Trying to see what I can do
Hold the
here.
McGawkin fist.
Dr. Feltersnatch.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
He's the cousin of Haywood Jablomi.
He's a good lawyer.
Yes, he is. He's from the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Oh, that's funny.
You like that, huh?
Let's see. What are we looking at here?
We just want the big can. We want it up on the screen. This is just one of several cans that is going to be marketed by Bud Light. Celebrate everyone's identity, which look, and right in the corner it says she, they, and up at the top it says she, her, and on the side it says he, him, or they, them, or Ziza, or whatever. Look, I don't have a problem, and we've said it before. The other day was Trans Day of Visibility. Let's be honest. Every day is Trans Day of Visibility, whether we like it or not. And some of us just don't care. Be you. We've said it. Be you. Be all you. Be what you think you are, whatever. Don't foist it upon me because I don't have to listen. Bud Light core demographic is frat boys,
Rednecks.
You know, folks say from
And we know how woke and tolerant they are.
Oh yeah. You know, guys from like 35 to 50. And let's be completely honest. If Bud Light, if their plan at the last meeting was, hey guys, how can we lose $40 billion this quarter? And then somebody in the corner goes, I know, Why don't we make a Bud Light inclusive can? And not only that, but you get the biggest person who is performing sexual blackface in the country,
For
Dylan
real.
Mulvaney.
For real.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Look, I don't care how you live your life, but for the next time I see someone like ESPN or NBC celebrating.
No.
Wait, let me finish. If I see one of these woke ass TV stations or sports channels or whatever saying that a male athlete is a brave woman for breaking records that actual women are losing to this guy, the patriarchy is real and you are supporting it, you fucks.
I need to know what John means. The key here is don't preach it. If they are what they are, you have to accept it.
Okay, here's something.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he means by that.
I'm gonna offend somebody with the last part of that sentence. I don't have to accept shit. I say live your life. I say you do you. If you want to be Sally and present yourself as Steve, go right for it. If you
own your mental illness and drive that sucker.
I don't care. And that goes to nowadays. Everybody's got a mental illness. Everybody's on a pill for something. If you want to start out as Jacob and become Jane, I don't care. But it's when it gets pushed on you and they say, you will respect us. No, respect isn't given, it's earned. And when you come at me the right way, that's what he says. Own it, however, don't preach it. Okay, good clarification. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
You do not get to tell me or Lynch or Herm or any one of you in the comment section what we are to accept or respect. Because the minute you do that, I got 2 kickstands right here and a whole bunch of vile coming from this that's going to tell you how wrong you are in 30 seconds or less. I'm faster than dominoes.
So you bringing up that athlete, the athletic comparison. I watched. I should. I don't know if I shared with you guys, but I should have. All right. So a male power lifter.
The cannon story.
A male power lifter. Because I guess in Canada you can just say I'm a woman. And be on the women's.
Well, come on, man. Them motherfuckers is super polite.
Oh, would it be a bother if you could see it out? If I could be about being on your women's powerlifting team. Sure,
yo, my man, if you ever get, you know how the Canadians end their sentences with "ya" or whatever it is.
Hey.
Okay, with "hey." Google what the actual where that comes from. And it's actually a form of an apology because the way it basically means, I'm sorry that I'm boring you to death with what it is that I'm saying. And if that's not the most Canadian fucking thing on the fucking planet,
yeah,
I don't know what is. Sorry. It was an interesting fact I watched on a show the other night.
This guy who is visibly presenting as a male because he is fucking male. He's a big motherfucker. Joins the women's powerlifting team and beats. Now here's the funniest part of this whole story. The person who held the record was a trans person, male to female, has been on the team for the record. This man then beat that record by 150 pounds, and it brought this trans person to think, maybe it's not fair that I'm on the women's team. You think? Because we're all built different.
Exactly. Derek the Undertaker said it right here on this show a year ago. We have physiological differences. It's down to your bones. It's down to your DNA. It is science. Men are built.
Yo, I'm going to stand up and show one of the physiological differences. Hold on.
Fuck you up. Women.
Hold on. I got visual aids.
I'm not saying. Look, for every Barbara Billingsley, there's a China. For every Kim Kardashian, there's a Nicole Bass. There are big, muscular, strong, just women that can go out and tear the shit out of anything a man can do and do it better.
Yeah.
But it's the exception to the rule. Men are built to do one thing. Women are built to do the other thing. And I'm not going to get into it because, heaven forbid somebody calls me out for not being a biologist. Here's what I know. If you got a dick, you ain't a chick.
we're designed to fit together. That's the whole
Exactly. We're complementary.
Well, I just found the humor in the fact that the person he beat was a trans person, and that trans person actually said, "Word from the lips, maybe it's not fair." No shit,
You
it's
think?
not fair. And I even asked my wife this because it was on. We're old farts, so we watch CBS Sunday morning.
I'm
And
sorry.
There was a commercial about that for coming up in the next segment of this show. And I said, Megan, what is your standpoint on trans being a trans man wanting to be in a women's sport? She goes, I can't say that I blame the women for being upset. She's like, because if she holds three state records in Pennsylvania for her swimming. She's like,
for coal mining.
Yeah. She didn't leave that.
You should see this girl dig.
She's a Philly girl, yo.
She ain't lost a canary yet.
That's what I'm saying. You should see that girl dig.
But she agreed. She's like, no, that's not totally unfair. And if a guy were a guy same size as me at the time and put him up against my record, he beat me.
Well, here's something that not a lot of people point out, and of course, I'm an asshole, so I'm gonna point it out. You don't see that in reverse.
I was just gonna say, you know,
you don't see a woman go, you know what? Anything Derek Jeter can do, I can do better, and go to the MLB or go to the NFL.
I gotta be honest.
Hockey League. One woman ever, Manon Rhéaume, the goalie for the Tampa Bay Lightning. She could stop a puck like nobody's business. She was super good, and to this day is the only woman to play professional hockey in the National Hockey League.
I was just gonna say that you don't see it. However, I would totally root for that fucker because you know what? Just given the basic I don't care how much you testosterone it up, science is not going to do to you what nature did to the men that are in that sport. Okay? There are there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years of evolution that have gone into what we have and are right now. Science ain't figured shit out yet.
Nope.
No.
It's not going to top what nature can do. So if she wants to call herself a him, all right, in her head, and she thinks she can go up against men, I'll root for him any fucking day of the week just because it's an underdog, straight up. All right, but you don't see that. You don't see men. You don't see transgender men jumping into the ring with pro boxers.
No,
but you see it the other way.
Right, like I don't give a fuck if you're a female who's the same weight as Manny Pacquiao in his prime. That man is fucking you up pound for pound. The same weight he's fucking you up.
These same women, these crazy, and I don't want to call them crazy, but the ones that believe in all this woke folk bullshit will cheer Fallon Fox, a man, going into an octagon and fighting a woman, a physiological, biological woman, knocking the ever-loving piss out of this girl, and then after the fight puts on the shirt that says trans women are women. No, what you just did was domestic violence. If that were anybody else, that's domestic violence. But
right, like right. Oh, wait a minute. If I put a fucking dress on, I can smack my fucking wife around. Where the fuck did nobody tell me this rule? Is that what the rule is? If I put a fucking dress on, I can beat my wife all over the house?
You better build an octagon or call Dana White, and that comes up in our next segment.
Dude, I will deem my office the octagon. There it is.
It has to be sanctioned by the state. That's where Fallon Fox gets away with smacking women around.
But I'm just saying, like, is that all it takes? If I put a dress on, I can beat my wife, and it doesn't make it bad because I'm just another woman smacking a woman around?
It has to be sanctioned by the Colorado State Athletic Commission.
I have to believe it.
I want to bring up a point that was made earlier in the chat about, pre-production chat about what Mike I think said it was.
Ooh, what'd I say?
That this whole trans movement, the mentality is we're supposed to be inclusive and accepting and understanding of them, yet they're bringing down an entire movement that has worked so hard.
Oh, absolutely.
In the LGBTQ plus community, they are bringing them back to the 60s. Honestly, they are losing so much fucking ground because they are making that all look bad.
Agreed.
Now, anybody waving a rainbow or having a rainbow sticker on their car or whatever the fuck is looked at like, oh, it's another fucking crazy tranny, when it's not the case. It's not, they preach acceptance, but they won't receive.
They don't practice it.
They won't receive my opinion on it.
And here's where I was going to go earlier.
If I say,
hold on. Before anybody finishes, Chris, give me 1 second. John, there is a way to get 50 plus viewers on this shit because we're like I said, we are the award-winning podcast that hasn't won shit yet. You have to share the shit out of this, okay? You have to shove it down everybody's throats, and we have to go through all the shit, and we have to get new people in here, all right? Because share it with your friends. Tell your friends to share it. Yeah, there is a way, but we have to figure out because everybody here is not, a media mogul. So advertising's kind of expensive, and I cover the cost of.
Look at the
I
power.
actually cover right. You know what I mean? Like, you want to support the show. We can figure out prices. Like, I'll sell the advertisement banner on a per show basis. I'll sell it for a strip. I can have more than one banner. All right, I have all kinds of shit we could do. We've got, if you look down in the corner right here, down in my man, we do have the board, and we can also
right there,
advertise your message on that. So we are trying to raise a little money, and a little money will also help us push out and boost it and pay for some boosted footage. But right now we're grassroots. And we just need you to tell all of your friends about how fucked up and good shit we're talking. You know what I mean? I'm like, these guys are crazy. Oh God, he's got a gun! But you got to tell everybody. That's what it is, man. What about feminism? I'm all about feminism. I mean, I'm all about feminism. Absolutely, I'm all about feminism. Yes, sir. Because the base definition of feminism is having respect for women. That's literally the definition. Because otherwise you would have what's be misogynistic, which is not having. No, it's the same thing. I'm sorry. Those are the two words. Look in the dictionary. Google the thesaurus.
Don't need to
so
do
there it is. I mean, let's be honest. And if we're going to talk about misogyny, then we need to talk about misandry. But nobody wants to have that false equivalency discussion.
No.
No, because to them it doesn't exist.
What am I downplaying, John?
Nobody's downplaying it. You're the alphabet kids you're talking about. The LGB community is the only part of that the movement.
Knows who they are.
The movement was about wanting to love who you love. And being able to have sex with who you have sex with and not be persecuted for it. And that movement was absolutely fabulous. But unfortunately, the media chose to use the word lifestyle. And lifestyle is not really what being gay is. It's just a sexuality and a sexual preference. Lifestyle is a whole set of things that make up a lifestyle. And just because they focused on the flaming part of the gay lifestyle and how fun it was, that's what made it lifestyle. But really, it was lifestyle that brought them down, because really their fight was about sexual preference. And once you included the word lifestyle, it opens it up to all kinds of shit. It opens you up to allowing any BDSM community to say that they have every right as the gay community because it's a lifestyle. It allows what I consider the mentally ill and problemed people that have this trans disorder. It allows them and their lifestyle, not because of their sexual preference. I have people in my life that they've changed their sexual image However, we're talking about like dudes that become women and still eat pussy. We're talking about women that choose to be men but still like dick.
They're out there.
All right. Actually, it's most of them.
Yeah.
Most people don't change, and most people do not change their sexuality and their sexual preference when they trans. Okay, so it's not about who you're having sex with, which leads me to believe it's the mental illness thing. But that whole lifestyle word and the use and the attachment of that is what allowed everything else. It's what allows, and I don't support it, but it's also what allows for the argument that pedophilia is just a way of thinking. I know, but it's what allows for the thought that that is okay. That pedophilia is just another form of love, and it's a lifestyle.
And that brings up another
That's
thing.
that's the problem. The LGB fight was about sexual preference. The trans fight has nothing to do with that. Not one bit.
I can rattle off 5 things that if somebody didn't know me, and if you want to compartmentalize those things into a lifestyle, I could rattle off 5, 6 things. Oh, he must be gay because he likes to do this. No, I like to do this. I just happen not to be gay.
Once again, John, you're allowed to believe whatever you are, and I'm allowed to believe it's a mental illness. You can't convince me. There's nothing you can say. I don't care what you preach or what you tell me. I don't give a fuck if it's bigotry either. There you go, baby. Derek, it's bigotry. There are minor attracted persons. That's right. We're not a pedophile. I'm a minor attracted person. That's probably that's how fucked up it's been allowed. That's what the LGB, lesbian, gay, and bi, which was sexual preference, have allowed in with their lifestyle people.
The RGBQRST. Listen, in the DSM-5, and I don't know how many of you guys actually look at this. I've actually dug into the DSM-5. Transgenderism and autogynephilia are listed as mental illnesses. If you don't know what autogynephilia is, Leah Thomas. William Thomas became Leah Thomas because autogynephilia, and he has said this on his own Instagram and Twitters.
Yep,
all of that
yep. He supports it.
Autogynephilia is defined as a male's propensity to be sexually aroused by the thought of himself as a female. It is the paraphilia that is theorized to underlie transvestism or some forms of male to female transsexualism. Here's the issue I have. The more we keep saying and the more we keep squishing and the more we keep, allowing this to be pushed. I don't care about adults. We're grown-ass adults. All of you in the comment section, grown-ass adults. I don't want my kids seeing this. I don't think there's a reason, and I'm going to, if any of you guys in the comment section, not the guys here, because they've already answered this question, and I call this the 4 to 5 point plan of why we're not transing kids, because it's stupid. Does your 8-year-old have the right to vote? Anybody in the comment section, let me know. I'm going to ask these questions in rapid fire. Does your 8-year-old have the right to join the military? Does your 8-year-old have the right
Not even with your permission.
Does your 8-year-old have a right to drink? Does your 8-year-old have the right to drive a car? So the 5th question is, how the fuck are you going to let your 8-year-old tell you when they don't even know what color they like or the pizza that they loved last week they hate and all they want to eat is ramen noodles this week? Kids at that age do not know. And if we're going to go by adulthood, which generally by law is 18 years old, then again,
minimum.
You can't buy cigarettes or booze until you're 21.
We'll let you operate heavy machinery a couple of years earlier, but you can't do anything legally binding until you're 18.
On top of that, the human brain and all of its function is not fully formed until you're 25 years old.
25, 26. Yes, sir. That is correct.
So you're going to tell me that a 12-year-old knows intrinsically, without question, that this is okay, and you are going to sign off on surgeries Oh, and by the way, the hormone blockers, the puberty blockers, is Lupron, which they use to chemically castrate pedophiles, which they did to Michael Ross, a serial killer in this area, who, by the way, killed young women under the age of 17. Stop it. Stop it. The minute you guys actually do some reading, and I'm not talking about you in the comment section, I'm not talking about you two on the panel, I'm talking about the broader you, anybody who finds us today who is now deeply...
Those of you that aren't listening...
Oh, somebody will tell somebody who'll tell somebody else, and we'll be canceled.
And they'll tell a friend, and they'll tell a friend, and they'll tell a friend.
Let me ask you this, Chris. This is something else I saw today, this afternoon after I got home.
And as soon as we get to that, I got John's comment, because if you sign off at under 18, that technically that's not gender-affirming care, that's abuse.
So I'm trolling through my normal YouTube playlist.
Do you actually work? I got to ask you that question, because
I do work. I get a lot of shit done when I get home.
When the fuck do you work? You're all like 1 o'clock in the morning. You're the only asshole, and 1 o'clock in the morning here means 3 o'clock in the morning there. And we've been talking for 5 or 6 hours. When the fuck do you? This asshole doesn't work.
Wait a minute. I'm the same guy who I'm at work, and when I see you guys pop up, and I have a brief second, I'm popping in with you guys as well.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm standing over a stove and typing.
So anyway,
Okay, I'm gonna get to John. We're gonna get to you in just a minute, buddy. Hold on, hold that thought, please. I like your comment.
There's a teacher at a school board meeting, and for an English assignment, the teacher, who happens to be the football coach and the health teacher. Okay, he's teaching health. I want you to write a paragraph about, I want you to pick out of these topics: anal sex, tickling with a feather, or kissing. Which do you prefer? And put the initials of the person you would want to do that to or have done by.
Oh, that's some hardcore fucking grooming right there.
That violates
and
so many moral standards.
that's basically fucking applications for your victims.
And for those who missed the class, this teacher, the football coach, wanted a 2 to 3 paragraph essay of what they prefer. And the father says, where anywhere on the planet is that information you need to know? How is that in association with health? And
it's not.
It went on, and he pointed to every single board member and said, if you don't do something about this, I will go file a complaint at the county clerk's office, and you will be gone, and you will be gone, and you will be gone. This is fucking horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
No.
I'm asking for a friend. Well, no, Derek, absolutely, and we had that discussion last night. I mean, if I had children, I'm 50. If I had started when I was in my 20s or 30s, I'd probably pull them in and teach them myself. A lot of it only because I believe personally that the curriculum in schools is fucking retarded. I can't tell you the percentage of people who graduate high school who can't do basic math and balance a checkbook or know exactly what their financial situation is.
No, I understand. That's the whole. I send my kids to private school, man.
Exactly. So you have a choice in education.
I spend $25,000 a year per kid to send my kids to fucking private school. So, and you guys both know how much I hate religion. All right, and how much? All right, but my kids go to the #1 Catholic school in Rhode Island. Not because of the religion. To be honest, they could completely fail that class. None of us would care. I go there because of the curriculum and the life opportunities that I've seen graduates of that school become. There are congressmen. There are people who own business, big fucking names that have gone to that school, and they end up really fucking rich. So I've invested in my kids' future. $25,000 a fucking year for the last. Well, it's 8 years now, and it's 2 more going.
All right. There were 2 comments. I'm going to go with John. He had 2 comments, and I really want to talk about this, and thank you, John, for staying around. He's the first one was I disagree. You're saying at 8 years old. Yes, I was. What about 14? By the way, there's no sign off until 18. Certain states
Sorry, we're there. That's where
certain
we are.
states have no sign off until 18. Other states like Tennessee and others, and Tennessee being a big one because Vanderbilt Hospital openly advocates bring your kid in between starting at 8 and moving on.
We'll start the trans process. Yeah.
Okay, so then his next comment was, my kid was in a hospital over holidays. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Because she doesn't know what she wants. That's fair. She's a kid. No kid knows what they want. If all of you think it's a mental illness, I'm sorry to tell you that the DSM says different. I'm not arguing for you or against you, John. Please understand that. She was brought up as a girl. Her choice is not to be. Do I want that? No. However, do I lose my kid because she will kill herself? No. By the way, she's also straight A's. First of all, you're raising a good kid. Second, that argument is the biggest talking point that I hear amongst the ones that are about this for children. Well, would you rather have an alive son or a dead daughter? How about you let that kid go through puberty in a natural function the way biology intends it, and then they become an adult and make a choice on their own. Nobody knows, and I will say this, and I will die defending this. And if you want to shoot me, by the way, here's a gun. Hasn't killed anybody yet. Kids don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. If any of you knew who you wanted to be at 14, raise your hand.
Not me.
If any of you, well, I know, Herm, you've always been the cooking guy, and we get it.
I'm not fucking around, but like the rest
That
of
was
it,
you.
the rest of it that I wanted to fuck around with food, but other than nothing else. That's it. That's the only fucking thing I knew at 14.
There's a reason those are called the formative years, and then you hit 18. We're not always blessed with the right information to go forward into the world, to be honest. But let's be clear. I don't know. And I've got a 15-year-old daughter myself. I don't know any teenager right now who hasn't changed who they want to be or what they want to be or what they think or what they like about 600,000 times. That includes their sexuality and preference.
Well, and a lot of that is based upon the kids they hang out with too. I mean, they float from community to little click to click to click throughout their high school years or junior high and high school years.
Sure.
I was one of the guys who just got along with everybody. I knew the metalheads, I knew the jocks, I knew the artists.
Well, back then you were sexy as fuck.
I was sexy as fuck.
Herm,
myself on the back.
don't die.
I won't.
All right,
Who'd run the show?
Derek the Undertaker. We'd teach him, or you teach him from beyond the grave. He'd have you on the table.
Great. So I have to will my fucking equipment and setup and instructions to somebody. Derek, this is the box.
Just
There are pictures and instructions for everything.
What Lynch is saying is true. What I'm saying, everything. We're not going to sit here and try to preach our thing. We say it at the top and the bottom of every program. You do you. Do your thing. But don't lead me to believe that quote unquote gender affirming care, all you're doing is feeding them. That's it. If my kid at say 12 years old, which she did for a brief moment, says, Dad, I think I like girls. I said, okay, fine. You're not mad. Why would I be mad? You like who you like. You love who you love. Now, she didn't, and she hasn't, and I dare say she won't. She's too into whatever the fuck she's into. We'll find out next week when she joins us for Am I the Asshole?
I'll have a little man right too.
When I was a kid, and again, different era, different time before anybody says anything, these two were there. I think John is about our same age. We had a little kid in our neighborhood, little boy, who told people he was a girl, and he had a name. He called himself Sasha. And some kids grow out of it. Some kids firmly believe that. Nobody pushed him in one direction or another. He just grew and he learned. The problem with today is it's foisted upon everybody. Everywhere you look, everything you see, everything you read, and you know what the biggest culprit...
Are you sure you don't want to be a girl? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to be a girl? You're sure you're a boy? You might not be a boy. Somebody might have got it wrong.
You'd be happy.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're a boy? You might be a girl. You could still be a girl.
Shut up.
I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
I feel for John's kid. I feel for any kid who has to go through this. The difference being, if that kid is under 18, you let that kid ride it out. Because you're not in a place. If you can't vote, if you can't drive, if you can't join the military, if you can't do the things an adult does, how am I supposed to sign off and go, oh yeah, you're 12, you're 14, you're 15, go ahead, have fun.
It's your job.
Yeah, but I'm also not gonna. I'm. That's fine. Do you? But I'm gonna refer to you as my son. I'm gonna refer to you by the name that I gave you at birth. I'm gonna refer to you as the being that you are. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm going to refer to you as my son. That's what I would say to any of my 3 boys. And I raised blonde hair, blue eyed, Aryan Nation fucking
I don't
solids.
know how that happened.
I don't either. It doesn't even make sense. But that's what I would say. Look, man, you're my son. Okay? That's how that's going down. You live any way you want to, but you're my son, and that's how I'm talking to people about you.
When this all comes to pass, and I don't know if it's going to get bigger, if it's going to get smaller, if this is, oh,
it's going to get worse
for a lot of people. And again, I feel for these people who suffer from gender dysphoria, and it is real. Okay, it is real, but you also have to call it what it is. It's a mentality. Some call it a mental illness. Some call it a mental, issue. I just call it a mentality. Because it is. It's a lot like saying, I say this, and I'll leave it here. If you can't define it, you can't be it. And the big question, and if Derek's still watching, don't say a word. Derek will throw it up in the comments. We know what the question is. If you can't define it, you can't be it. Because there are rules and there are the biological differences that make one this thing and one this thing. What you have in here and what you have in here, your heart and your mind, does not qualify if they dig you up in 100 years. Why? Because they see your physiology and go, this is the skeleton of a male, approximately 45 years old, yada, yada, yada. Or this is the skeleton of a female, approximately however many years old, yada, yada, yada.
Scientifically speaking.
Mm-hmm. You can believe whatever you want to believe. And the way I know this is going too far, and again, I feel for people. I feel for John and what his kid is going through. And, hopefully one way or the other, however your kid wants to live their life, John, good on them. As long as they're a good human being. But it will not be pushed into my face. I saw a video last week, and I wanted to bring it up, and we didn't get a chance to, of a woman in North Carolina made a video, and she says, I wanted to let you know today I am coming out as a red-tailed hawk. I am a red-tailed hawk living
Good for her.
in a woman's body. No! You are not a red-tailed hawk. A red-tailed hawk can fly. A red-tailed hawk can pick fish with their talons out of the fucking water. This is the problem I have. I don't have a problem with if you're a female, you want to live as a male, do it. You're a male, you want to live as a female, do it. Once we start having wolf people and red-tailed hawk people and this two-spirit bullshit, and first of all, non-binary doesn't exist. It's not.
I'm a chicken hawk, and I eat chickens.
Oh my god.
I'm
There's no such thing as non-binary.
I'm a chicken hawk.
When you drop trow, you're one or the other. How you think of yourself doesn't change who you are. That's where I've been going with this whole time for years. Dating back to 1861, where I first started. She can fly too, might not land well. Well, Derek, that's where you come in. She'll crack it and you stack it.
Remember, it's not the fall that kills you, it's that sudden stop at the
It's
end.
the sudden fucking stop, baby.
And Derek, you let me down. What's the question? Because if you can't define what it is, you can't be that thing. You know this better than anybody, D. Come on now. Don't let me down.
I now identify as an anal probe.
Well, that's not surprising.
We already knew that. It's not like this is a fucking coming out party.
Wait, did you have
It's
another
like it's like a parent who knows their kid is gay, bro. We've known for years. We've just waited for you to come out. It's that how that works.
By
Derek?
the way, come on, Derek.
He got
You
it.
can do it.
Put it up on the
I
screen.
can't- I'm not looking at.
I'm not allowed to say it anymore. What is a woman?
What
go.
is a woman?
Oh, and that's what I wanted
It's like,
to bring
it's
up
like
earlier.
a feeling. It's like, you know.
No, it's not.
woman.
It's a
woman.
grown adult female with a vagina and all that stuff. How you choose to live, different.
A vagina.
But unless you have it, you ain't it.
When I first get her, she was good on plow, but now this her virgin hang like sleep from wizard.
She was voted number 4 prostitute in all Kazakhstan.
This is a picture of my boy.
It's what I've said. It's what I said years ago when the new wave of feminism started to come around, and they were saying, you know, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. I don't need no man. I don't need no this. I don't need no that. And my girlfriend. At the
Well,
time,
no, because all the hard
very-
jobs are done.
Shut. Let me make my point.
All the hard jobs are done.
You're right.
We've built society already. What
Doesn't
the
matter.
hard fucking jobs are done. But continue.
I would listen to these speeches until the pickle jar needed to be open, or until something needed heavy lifting, or until, you know, the kids were unruly and they weren't listening to "I don't need no man." Now you got to send the man in. A man needs women. Women need men. People need each other. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're bi. I don't care if you're lesbian. I don't care about any of that. You live your life the way you want to live it. What I'm not going to do, what I will not stand behind, is somebody foisting their opinion upon me. And if you go ask a therapist who actually does their job, therapists are not supposed to affirm what you think. Therapists are supposed to challenge you to make yourself better. And if a therapist tells you, oh, yeah, your parents don't love you, yeah, let's get you out of there because they don't think you're this, that therapist is not doing a job right.
No, doing a huge disservice. Huge.
You know, far be it for me, to be the voice of fucking reason, right?
Right.
Oh, Christ. So,
Right, so
now
what
that
else?
we haven't pissed everybody off, by the way, still got a gun, hasn't killed anybody. Just want to point that out. That gun has not killed a single soul, so shut your fucking mouths, everybody. Well, if you're that kind of person. Somebody one time years ago said to me, and it was somebody in the industry, I had an interview with Ken Shamrock as he was going into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting, and he goes, you know, after the interview was over, he says, you can't print this. I said, all right, I won't. I've only told about 5 people this story. Now I'm telling all of you because it's over. He said, you know, Vince McMahon made a play about a year ago to buy UFC. As it turned out, Bob Meyerowitz, who owned UFC, eventually sold to Dana White and the Fertitta brothers, who started Zuffa Entertainment and brought the UFC from human cockfighting.
Fuck the Fertitta brothers.
Well, yeah, of course, but you know about the Fertitta brothers.
Fuck Gaspar Gomez and the Fertitta brothers.
So, you know, those individuals brought UFC from human cockfighting to the major spectacle you see today. Mm-hmm. Announced yesterday morning. Endeavor Entertainment, the parent company, which is now the second sale of the UFC about a year or two ago.
Keep going with this. I'll be right back.
Has merged with Vince McMahon and WWE for a multi-level sports entertainment industry. So my question is, who's not legitimate anymore? WWE is entertainment. Yes, they are athletes, but WWE is entertainment. UFC is sport.
So
how does this work?
Do you think it would be allowed by the UFC public, basically, you know, guys like us who like the UFC?
Mm-hmm.
I personally would lose total interest if they do go with storylines and bullshit like they do in wrestling.
They kind of already. I mean,
wrestling is wrestling. Yeah, they do. They kind of do.
The Ultimate Fighter show leading up to these guys getting a contract and
right. That's the reality show part of it. But once they get in the ring, it's not a rehearsed, choreographed
No,
match.
not at all.
They don't know the outcome. They don't know that Joe Haywood Jablomi is going to win this match because he's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
They go in, they beat the shit out of each other. Whoever's arm they raise at the end is the winner. Be it by point, by knockout, by submission, whatever. I would completely lose interest in UFC if that were to happen.
I mean, they kind of already have that. When you watch a UFC pay-per-view, and this is how we got to this fight, and there's jaw-jacking. It's no different than a Rocky movie. So-and-so has been disrespecting me for years, and I'm going to slap shit out of this guy, and we're getting it on tonight at UFC 214, whatever the name of the fucking show is or whatever. It is. They did borrow, and Dana White has said it, they borrowed a lot from WWE as far as production. Why are these two guys getting
right ring entrance music, light shows, smoke?
So what did that do? That enveloped some people who were fringe wrestling. They were wrestling fans, but they kind of like UFC, and they pulled them right in. I don't see it going the other way. I don't see UFC people. But UFC people going to wrestling now. No, but you've got one organization now. Okay, so it's kind of like you've got like Paramount, but it's got like CBS, and there's a bunch of different like channels, subdivisions within it, right? But what if they start throwing a couple of UFC matches in with WrestleMania?
That is dumb.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying you've got cross marketing ability. You've got. I can see where he's going with it, and besides, to be honest, he only has 49% control. So he's lost controlling interest of the way it goes. He doesn't care about control anymore. He just wants a nice fat check.
Good night.
And that's it.
I'm curious how this works for stockholders of WWE.
Derek, have a good night. Tell the kids we said good night.
Peace.
Yes, absolutely.
Good night, kiddies.
How does this work for the stockholders of WWE, a publicly traded company, now that they're under the umbrella of Endeavor? The cross promotion is simple. You see, WWE is on Fox. So if you watch an NFC football game, and you're going into the second quarter, it's like Friday night. None of these guys know what they're fucking talking about unless they watch a show, but they're given a copy. This Friday night, Roman Reigns gets in the ring to square off against Cody Rhodes, and
it doesn't matter. It's just a push, and if you if you grab a couple of new viewers, awesome. If not, your current fan base isn't going anywhere.
Right. You're not going to lose people.
The cross promotion that these guys are having now is tremendous.
Right. The size of the crowds that UFC can now knowingly during a WWE pay-per-view event or whatever, or however that shit works, can knowingly hit this many customers for free.
You know how many people they pulled in over the weekend at WrestleMania? 2 nights, same stadium. 161,000 ticket-paying customers.
Right. So now imagine half a dozen, maybe 8 commercials spread out throughout the shit on the fucking big boards on over the last 2 days. Oh, we gotta watch that match, bro. A couple of things while interludes in between matches. Some fucking time fillers. Bang.
Well, not only that, you have 2 guys on the WWE roster right now who have MMA experience.
Right.
3. Sorry. You have Brock Lesnar, former UFC champion.
Yep.
You have Bobby Lashley, who had a bunch of fights in Bellator.
Right.
And you have Matt Riddle, who fought on the lightweight division in UFC.
Yep.
All WWE.
Yep.
So your cross promotion, just now the waters are moving together. Does that mean I want to see Randy Orton go in the octagon? No. Does that mean I want to see Conor McGregor at WrestleMania? No. Stay in your lane, but the cross promotion has so much value right now.
Right, but I mean, but also, you now have the ability to pull. We've seen Vince do it. Is pull people from other shit in He's pulled in football players. He's pulled in. So
George
now you've
Kittle was a part of the show this
right.
weekend.
So now you've got some known
Snoop
celebrity.
Dogg was a part of the show.
Right, you've got some known celebrity action from UFC to come in and be guest something, commentators, events, shit.
Joe
It's
Rogan.
it's just positive all the fucking way around, bro. You put Joe Rogan in a booth at any WWF event and it's fucking off the hook.
Oh, absolutely. And the underlying thing here is, not only the cross promotion, but like you said, Herm, can I grab some of that audience? Can I grab the numbers aren't out on the amount of views on Peacock or pay-per-view for WrestleMania this past weekend. Usually with the UFC event, it's strictly pay-per-view, and they have those numbers out in a couple days. But now with the WWE having pay-per-view and Peacock and all of this mess, it takes a while to collate all the numbers. If your average UFC event pulls in 1 million people and WWE can pull a tenth of that audience to be extra,
Right.
that's a bonus.
That isn't their part of their current demographic.
And
that's a bonus. And the same with you. And the same with you. And the same is it's reciprocal with UFC. People who aren't really UFC fans now all of a sudden are catching commercials for it. All of a sudden you get drifters. So
We'll check this out too. WWE can put the marketing machine behind and go, listen, since 1995, here are some of the guys that have come through and done what we do. Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman, Tito Ortiz, just a litany of people that have come through and done pro wrestling, whether or not with WWE, because I think they own just about everything now except the Mud Show on Wednesday nights. But they have all this footage. They can go, hey, look, here's Tito Ortiz in TNA. Here's Ken Shamrock winning our Intercontinental Championship. Here's Dan Severn, smacking the shit out of the Big Show. Wait, these guys are UFC guys, and they went to WWE? Maybe we should check it out. Same with WWE. You can reverse that in this day and age of kids, I'll say 18 to 25, who may not have seen Ken Shamrock do his thing, but they know Brock Lesnar did this thing.
that's right.
And you can go, hey, here's
Exactly.
Brock Lesnar being UFC champion. But wait, there's more. We've had this, all these UFC guys. The co-mingling is so profitable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just the ability to pull viewers like that, which means merchandise, which means all that shit, sales.
I mean, it also brings it down to single stream revenue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's coming from two different outlets, but it's all going to the same bank account.
No, that's true.
At the end of the day, it makes it easier for them to predict what next year's income is going to be.
And to look at it like
they can look at historically what the WWE and what the UFC has on the books.
UFC goes off twice a month.
This is a built-in profit right here.
Yep, and UFC goes off twice a month. WWE is almost a daily thing.
Right.
They're bigger shows Monday night, Friday night, and the monthly pay-per-views. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm using a 4-week month just to be safe. So that's 48. Now you add the other 12. That's 60 major televised events every year. Now you take those twice a month, which is another 24 for UFC. That's money, dog. Who cares where it comes from? It's now going into a collective pot.
It just matters what, all right, so I got to annotate this for UFC income. Woo-hoo.
Right.
I'm going to swim on my bed in $100 bills.
Right. And the beauty of it is they're two separate entities. This isn't like NASCAR if they were to buy F1 or in reverse.
Right.
Those are competing entities. They're two different products, much like UFC and WWE, but at the end of the day, it's still racing. You couldn't do that. You couldn't have, the highest level of, say, sport, European sport racing like F1 and the American top series, which is NASCAR. They can't commingle because a lot of that stuff shows at the same time.
Right.
Now you're splitting the baby. You're absolutely splitting the baby.
Those are two completely different fan bases there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an F1 guy, you're not a NASCAR fan.
Right. No, it's a completely different race.
Completely different type of racing. And it's more of the long.
You can appreciate a bunch of different styles of racing, but just because you watch F1, you cannot assume that somebody's going to give a shit about NASCAR.
Correct, and vice versa.
Right.
Because
Right.
I could give half a fuck about F1,
Right.
but I love NASCAR.
Right.
I actually, and I'll watch a couple indie races during the year because they're names that I know, and it's an American-based racing league.
Right.
But I could give two shits less who's leading the points or who won the most races in IndyCar, but I sure as shit care about NASCAR because I'm invested.
Right.
That's your bread and butter right there. That's what you sit down every weekend to watch.
Yeah.
Be it Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning or Sunday in the afternoon.
Hell, sometimes
Whatever.
on a Friday night. Yeah.
Sometimes on a Friday night. Coming soon, NASCAR.
Well, they already got the Truck Series running Friday nights most of the time. So,
is that on FS1?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
I thought I was scrolling through the other day and I saw the rerun of it. And I was like,
yeah. But this opportunity that Endeavor has put together, and they gave Vince what he wanted, which was $9 billion plus.
Right. They hit his number.
Right, and think about this. Just take this into account. And anybody, you can say what you want about Vince McMahon as a person or about his new mustache. You can say what you like.
Snidely.
Vince McMahon bought that company in 1983 from his father for $1 million.
Yep.
Right.
He just sold the
For
company
9.3 billion.
Billion with a B, as in boatload of money.
I don't have to like him. I don't have to like his style. I don't have to like the fact that he fucks everything that moves.
Just for reference for everybody out there, that it takes 1,000 stacks of 1 million to make a billion.
Mm-hmm. And he just got
So he sold his company for
stacks, yo.
for a 9,300% profit.
Mm-hmm. And for what it's worth, and Mike and I being fans for as long as we have, in and out, however you want to look at it, we've watched it come from high school gyms and smoky, armories to big-time arenas. And even then, we thought in 92, 93, when we were going to a lot of shows, even 95, when we both attended WrestleMania that year, you look at the production, you're like, how can it get better than this? And it just keeps, the production value just keeps going up. And the same with UFC. You can go back and look at the original 5 or 6 UFC cards, and it looked like human cockfighting. And now, again,
It's a
Dana
show.
White,
And now it's a show.
Oh my God, it's so much. And the production's great, and the fighting's great. They're not just letting any jackass who can throw a punch in there.
Right?
Sorry, Cabbage, wherever you are. And you remember Cabbage.
Speaking of sports, so I went to the Red Sox game this weekend on Sunday. Beautiful day, Great game. The Sox won 9-5 versus the Orioles. As a viewer, as a fan of a game and a baseball game, I can say I appreciate the new rules. Because when I first read about them, I was kind of on the fence. For those that don't know, that pitcher without a runner on base has a 20-second countdown to throw his pitch.
Yep.
If he misses that opportunity to throw the pitch, it's an automatic strike. And if a batter extends the clock.
Oh, I thought it was the reverse. If the pitcher misses, it's a ball. If the batter takes too long, it's a strike.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
yeah.
the batter the batter has to be in the box by
It was like 5-6 seconds.
by 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
8 seconds. I've never been to a baseball game that was so smoothly orchestrated, and we were in and out in less than 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And Megan was telling me the reasoning behind this is because they want to get more young people watching it at home.
Well, yeah, because kids today have the attention span of a gnat. If it's not the length of a fucking TikTok video, they're not interested.
And also to encourage base
Pretty much. Yep.
The bases are bigger. There were 4 stolen bases in 2 innings, all by the Red Sox. That's kind of exciting when you see that. Especially
growing up as a Ricky Henderson fan, I'm all for it. It's only the second time they've made the bases bigger in 125 years.
25 years.
I don't understand why people hate that.
It's not really that crazy, but yes.
I think it And I also think it's done for the perspective of there's been some 4 or 5 hour baseball games that are only 9 innings because
that's just more beers, baby.
Well, when they cut you off in the 7th inning.
Well, and then the pitcher is consistently trying to pick off somebody with a lead on first base 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 times. We get it. You don't want him to steal the base. You get 2 shots now. And guess what? 3rd shot, he motherfucker's running. And guess what? That's what happened. And I think it made the game a little bit more exciting. To me.
Some of the rules that we've been talking about that have sped up the game, have made the game better. The bigger bases also cuts down on ankle injuries for the infielders.
Yes.
The one thing I don't like, and it started last year, and I can't get behind it no matter what because I'm not 12 years old out in the driveway anymore with my buddies, is the ghost runner in extra innings. We're immediately going to put a guy on second base. Like, what the fuck? Are we playing football?
Right. Like, how do I can I play that nigga as a force play? Is if you're going to put a ghost runner on, then a force play means the ghost runner's out regardless.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, that's the rules we played with. Ghost runner, if it's a force play, he's out. I don't care if he's a ghost runner or not.
That's right. I didn't have to tag.
He just marks place.
Right.
He just marks place. So if it's a push, he goes. But if it's a force play, he's out.
You're out, motherfucker.
We played rough in the streets, man.
It's so dumb. And one of the Lynch, I know it wasn't an extra inning game, but maybe you can help me out with this. I'd heard this rule too. In extra innings, there's automatically 1 out put on the board.
Yes, because you're working behind the 8 ball, so you have to earn. It's kind of like the way they changed football overtime, right?
But at least then those rules make
sense.
sense.
No, it was not really changed it. They did change it, but those are really just what's called Kansas City rules. Those are called Kansas City rules. No, it's really what we knew it for in high school. Those were Kansas City rules. Basically, the only difference is Kansas City rules. You got on the 10, you got 4 tries. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got put on the 10 or the 15, and you had 4 tries. Yeah, and then if you didn't do it,
they're just elongating it right now.
Right. That's all they've done is elongated that. Same thing.
But yeah, you automatically start that inning with 1 out.
It's like some fucked up softball rule. It's fucked up.
It's like Canadian Football League. Now it's applying to baseball.
Welcome to the CBL.
Yeah, the Canadian Baseball League.
We hit with big fucking paddles like pizza peels.
Oh Christ!
No, I've not. Full admission, I've not seen a game yet this year, and not even on television. You were there. The game went smoothly. Judging, are the rules a success, or do you think that maybe they went too far with 1 or 2 of them?
I don't think they went too far. I think they did. This is just enough of a push to keep people. Because I found myself paying more attention to the game because you've both been to baseball games live. What happens?
Yep.
What happens when the pitcher starts pulling that bullshit? I'm gonna try to pick off first or second every time.
I get thrown out for fighting in the bleachers.
I order another beer or flag somebody down for a hot dog.
You're not paying attention. You're shooting the shit with the guy next to you or the guy behind you who's there.
Yeah, but for me, that's part of that's the experience.
It is the experience, but you know what? I'm 50. I experienced that for the first 49 years of my life. This is a new experience for me. I kind of liked it.
You sure are old.
It kept you in. Fuck you. We're all
I was going to say, he's older, so he enjoys something that focuses his concentration a little better because it's sliding out on its own.
It's Mr. Unabomber to you, motherfucker.
I got you. It runs a little quicker than Matlock, so I can get into
it. Murder She Didn't Write.
Oh my fucking God, we're at 1 hour and 45 right now.
Honey,
Jesus.
When does Marley Safer come on? I'm going to miss
For real.
When's 60 Minutes on? Who's that guy? Who's the old fart? Andy Wallace.
Christ.
Andy Wallace.
Andy Rooney.
Mike
Wallace. This
Morley Safer.
This Alzheimer's motherfucker Andy Wallace, Mike
got-
Rooney.
Rusty Wallace, Mickey Rooney, and
Judy Garland.
Art Mooney.
What the? Who? Who?
Who the hell is Art Mooney?
Art Mooney.
Bill
Who?
Hickok. What's he doing on presenting the news?
Oh shit. Who?
You've been shot. You've been shot. What were you trying to tell me? Art Mooney.
Mooney. Who?
Who the hell is
Who's Art Mooney?
All right, trivia question for anybody still watching. If you can tell me what movie that comes from, I got another $25 gift card to give
For
away.
real. Who is Art Mooney? And what movie was he in?
That's right. Well, he wasn't in the movie, but he was mentioned about 800 times.
Yes, he was.
If you guys
Okay.
haven't watched it yet,
Who?
if you guys haven't watched it yet, watch the documentary on Hulu about Brooke Shields.
Oh, I've been looking forward to that.
Is she naked in that?
No,
Michael Patrick.
Oh, what the fuck?
I gotta say she was probably my biggest crush when I was.
I'm
She's
ve-
still,
Go ahead, please.
beautiful to this day.
Oh, she's
absolutely.
gorgeous.
Oh God. Oh.
And
She's
I
gorgeous.
want to
And
point
she's had
out
no
before,
work done.
really.
No, she is all natural.
I want to repeat one more time for the people who didn't get it the first 800 times. This hasn't killed anybody yet.
Oh,
Still there.
still there. Still there.
So next week we have Am I the Asshole with two special guests. The Pimp Daddy of Alabama Avenue, and of course, Emma Burns, no relation.
No relation. That's right, that's right.
And go out and buy all the Bud Light you can, I guess.
That's right. Get all the rainbow Bud Light
Get all-
you can find.
Get all naked and rub it all over yourself.
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
Mike was right. We were going to offend somebody tonight. and
See, I hope so. I
the
hope so.
secret to success is offending the
Is
biggest
offending
number of
people because, you know, any press is good press.
Good press.
See you
No
next
such
week.
thing as bad publicity.
All right, boys and girls, we will see you next week.
Sleep soundly in your beds tonight. The judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful blood. In the blackest moments of a dying world, what have you
Hey, what does this button do?
Ooh.